Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. If you want to order any of my services, check the description box below for my email. I offer personal readings over the phone with me, 30 minutes or an hour session, or you can get tarot lessons. Any of my cards that I might present here today, my book, hair, body oils, miniature altars, t-shirts, whatever you would like to order, send me an email. So let's jump right in. What is it that you all need to know at this time? Okay. So the first card coming out says Slander. Slander. So we have to tap in and see what is that all about. What is slander all about? Because one thing that I do recognize about chosen seeds is that we don't waste our time sitting around just slandering people's names. Slander usually is something that's false, right? We're sitting around just speaking falsely about other people to try to tarnish their name at all costs. So let's just see, what is slander all about? Why is this coming out? So I have concern, and then I have gift. Concern and gift. Someone is thinking really, really hard. They're concerned here about what's being said. Let me see. What are they concerned about? So then I have faith. Then I have strength. Somebody, this is weird because it's almost like somebody is concerned that you are operating from the highest level of faith at this point. They're concerned that you're strong despite what's happened and the different things that you've had to go through and even the negative things that's been said about you. Your faith is still strong, okay? Because for faith and strength to come out at the same time, your faith has not wavered. It's causing somebody concern, though. So I don't know if they felt like it was going to bring you down or it was going to have you, completely just off of your path or no longer believing the way that you do. What is this? Let me clarify, because we also have gift here. So I feel like many of you are very gifted. Somebody could be very concerned because you have strong gifts. And despite what they tried to say about you, I feel like whatever they said about you was in opposition to your faith. So they could have said that you don't believe in the Most High, or that you are wicked, you're evil, you do sorcery on people just to, for crazy reasons, stuff like that. Let me clarify. What is gift? I have addictions. That's crazy. This is the same energy of someone saying that. So when I see gift, I'm seeing like spiritually gifted, because we have faith coming out with strength. So I feel like you're spiritually gifted because of the amount of faith that you have in your divine connection to the Most High Mother and Father and your spiritual team. But there are people who want to slander your name and make it seem as if you have addictions. Like something must be wrong with you. You must be high on something because of the way that you're moving or the way that you're believing. They can't grasp the way that you understand things. Close relatives. Okay. Look, I got black sheep at the bottom of the deck here. So it could be close relatives that are slandering your name, wanting people to believe that you have addictions, that something is wrong with you. But you've always been different. You've always been the one that was set aside and preserved for greater reasons than what you could have understood back then. Now you have a stronger understanding of what this is about now, but I can definitely see where now that you've awakened, you recognize why you've been set aside. You recognize why you're different, okay? Let's see. But these are so-called close relatives who have alienated you. So let's see what else is coming through here. Yeah, reclaim your happiness. Karmic debt is returned and sacrifice. Okay. You reclaimed your happiness despite their attempts to try to sacrifice your energy, to try to make you feel like you were just not a part of the family, or to try to make you feel as if the path that you was taking was just the wrong path. Like they really did try to clip you up and deter you from pressing forward. But whatever energy they sent your way, the karmic debt has now been returned to them. So I feel like that's why you have these people who are concerned, okay? Definitely in their head, because they recognize that you do have a genuine gift, but they don't want to acknowledge it directly. It's like, instead of acknowledging that you truly have a gift, they are slandering your name to make it seem as if you have addictions. Something is wrong with you, okay? Yeah, we have the card of child. I feel like, yeah, thief is at the bottom of the deck. I feel like since childhood, they've been wanting to take these gifts from you. There might be certain family members who recognize that you were very different since you were very, very young. Very innocent, very sweet, kind, but also very empathic. Okay, you might have been able to see certain things. You might have said particular things that they felt you should not have known at such a young age. Whatever the case may be, with the thief card, I feel like they tried to steal that part of you by maybe creating some issues in your childhood in hopes that it would erase this natural gift that you possess. Let me clarify. What is thief? So thief is imprisonment. See, it was like they was trying to entrap you. They wanted to entrap you in your head, because this is like the Eight of Swords energy with the imprisonment card. It's like overthinking, feeling stuck. I feel like they tried to steal your childhood, steal away your innocence. For some of you, your innocence was taken from you at a young age. And when I say innocence, I'm talking about your sexual energy through some form of sexual trauma. That's a common theme for a lot of chosen seed. And so I feel like at an early age, there was an agenda to block your spiritual gifts by creating traumas for you and creating this energy where you would stay stuck in this loop. But now you've gained your strength, okay? Your faith has not wavered. Instead, it's actually gotten stronger despite their efforts. Even with them saying negative things about you, it still wasn't enough to deter you from continuing on your path. And so the sacrifice was unsuccessful because you've reclaimed your happiness. You know your value despite what you've gone through. Very powerful beings out there. Mature man is here. Okay. And then I have privileged lady. So many of you, they know how privileged you are. They know how favored you are. Okay. The Most High does not play about you. Your spiritual team does not play about you. And regardless of what they try to block, your life continues to be a direct manifestation of the favor that you really have over your life. And so I feel like many of you are very mature men, very privileged women. You just have really good things going for you. Yeah, look at that. It says you win. Without a doubt, you win. So obviously, if you win, then somebody has to be on the losing team. And it seems like that's those people who are very concerned and stuck in their head, feeling like their objective to try and tarnish your name, it just did not work. Okay, some of these people are literally imprisoned, whether they are. So with the imprisoned card, let me clarify imprisonment. Yeah, this says protect yourself. Protect yourself. Okay, and bottom of the deck it says set free. So even if they did try to imprison you, or they tried to keep you stuck on this loop of this, karmic cycle, like staying stuck in your head, feeling afraid to step outside of the box that they created for you, or, just to be the rebel and to do something different, even though that was the objective, it still was not effective. That was the objective, but it still was not effective. Okay. Because you are safe, you are protected. And I'm also picking up that for some of you, there was a period of time in your life where you were literally set aside in a way where it's like no one could get to you, no one had access to you. That was actually to protect you. Okay? That was actually to protect you. In that moment, maybe you were still asleep and it felt like being confined. It felt like being imprisoned. It felt like being ostracized, right? But the more that you begin to awaken, you recognize that that season, that period in your life was literally to protect your innocence, because I feel like you've always just had a very compassionate soul, right? Just a compassionate soul, someone who empathized with others, was always just a giver, very kind. But there were people who wanted to prey on you for that reason, close relatives specifically, who wanted to take advantage of you for that reason, okay? And so, yeah, ego and pride, very egotistical, prideful individuals. Let me see. With the slander, what I'm feeling is that this is past energy. I feel like many of you have already dealt with that particular season in your life where people tried to tarnish your name and said everything about you that was in the complete opposition of who you truly are. But where we're at today is these same people who tried to slander your name are now dealing with their karma. It's like literally returned to them. And so they're concerned because they're in their head thinking, how was you able to persevere and maintain your strength and continue to increase your faith and to end up being this privileged woman or this mature man despite their efforts to try to block you from that? How is that possible? How is it possible when you were literally supposed to be the ultimate sacrifice of the family? But it's because you're protected and you learned how to protect yourself. You learned that actually going into isolation wasn't so bad after all. From the outside, looking in, it might not have seemed like the most ideal situation. But within that energy of what you might call solitude or hermit mode, you were literally growing and gaining a lot of wisdom. You were gaining a lot of wisdom. But I feel like for those people who were in opposition, the ones who wanted to see you fail, they really did assume that this confinement, this solitude was going to be your ending. Like that's where you would be. Just stuck, alone, lonely, not being able to come up out of your circumstances. Like that's what they envisioned. They thought that they had been successful at placing you here and keeping you there until they're ready to come and siphon your energy or whatever the case may be. Okay. Utilize you as their narcissistic supply, whatever. They thought that they had you as their puppet, their slave, whatever. So let me just see. Nine of Cups. But you fooled them. And there's a lot of people that's jealous. Oh my goodness, raging with jealousy. Because you ended up being very, very happy in your solitude. Like the Nine of Cups is finding ways to entertain yourself, finding ways to love on yourself, finding ways to fulfill your own wishes, and to create happiness and peace for yourself without necessarily seeking someone outside of you. It became about you. Like you decided to turn all of that energy that you used to pour into these false friends, false family members, false lovers, you turned it inward. And you became stronger from that space. And so with the Queen of Wands in the reverse, I think a lot of people thought that you would remain this person who would have like insecurities. You would stay in the shadows. You would never tap into your creativity. And if you did tap in, they felt like you would always self-sabotage. Like there were certain patterns that they had gotten adjusted to, and they really had it fixed in their mind that would make that energy would always be your energy. And with the Two of Swords in the reverse, I feel like the veil was lifted. Like you stopped wearing this blindfold and pretending that you did not see. And the Two of Swords in a reverse is a strong indicator that you took that blindfold off and gave yourself permission to see the truth about certain situations. Six of Pentacles in a reverse, the Two of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles in a reverse. I think you also started to see that things were postponed as long as you were over giving of your energy to the wrong people that was not willing to return it. It's something about a lack of reciprocity where people were willing to take from you, but they was not willing to give. And so I can see where you have you see things very, very clearly. You're not blinded to it anymore, nor are you a people pleaser anymore. If at one point you just wanted everybody to be happy, if at one point you felt like you needed to prove that you cared by over giving of your emotions or your resources or your time, I feel like now you have completely withdrew and you realize that there was no fruit to bear from that type of energy. And so now you're looking ahead, you're planning for the future, and the future does not consist of you worrying about other people's energy or their opinions. And so I feel like a lot of people, they know that they can't play with you anymore. Okay. Look at that. 6 of Wands. You are who you say you are. You're being celebrated. Okay. You inspire a lot of people, even the ones who called themselves trying to work up against you, to slander your name, to put you down, to take from you. They now see your power and they recognize that you're not one to be played with, because the Most High just does not play about you. And with this karmic debt that's now returning to them, they also recognize that judgment is always going to be served when they come against a chosen seed, especially somebody who has integrity, somebody who only wants to do right by others. They're starting to realize that karma cannot miss them when you do wrong by people who truly have a pure heart. Okay? And so the Knight of Pentacles is in reverse. This is why they're stuck. Things are not progressing for them. It's very heavy, in fact. It's very burdensome, okay? And they're looking at all of the seeds that they tried to sow towards your downfall, and they're starting to realize that it didn't touch you. Every seed that they tried to sow towards your downfall, they actually sowed towards their own. And so it's very heavy. It's very burdensome. They don't know how to carry this. But see, they move too fast. With the Fool in the reverse, they didn't think. They didn't stop to evaluate who you truly are. You know, they was too busy. Like I said, they had been conditioned to believe that you were naive, that you were an easy pushover, and that it would be cakewalk to try to, bruise you and keep you stuck. They thought you would be an easy pushover. But they're finding out, they've already found out that that's not the case at all. You could still be a very kind-hearted person, but still also know how to handle them in a way where not a whole lot needs to be spoken. They understand the energy. And so with the Fool here in the reverse, let me see. Yeah, the Marriage card is in the reverse. And then we have Message. Some of them jump too fast to the point where you're sending out them letters of, severing ties as far as marital contracts are concerned. So, yeah, they're getting the message loud and clear, y'all. The message is loud and clear. So a lot of these people are dealing with their own judgment because they don't want to take any accountability for their own actions. They're still playing the blame game. They're still in victimhood mentality, still refuse to see the truth about their circumstances. And they need somebody to carry this load for them. They don't want to carry any of it. They don't want to carry any part of their own burdens. They want somebody to carry the entire load, but you're not going to be that person. You're not going to carry this for these people anymore. You just let them deal with their own karma. Let them deal with their fate. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, see, it says punishment. It is what it is. They're just going to have to deal with their punishment. It's no different than an unruly child. A lot of these beings are just very childlike, like they're stuck at a certain point in their adolescence and they never grew. And so they think that they are not supposed to be reprimanded. They think that they're not supposed to be addressed when they do things that's completely just foul and wrong. They think they're supposed to be able to get by with this and just, somehow push their karma off onto other people. But they're finding out really fast here in the age of Aquarius that those days are done, okay? Because you have that divine connection to the Most High and you know how to pray for judgment. And this is why you're headed towards happiness. This is why you win. Okay, this is why they have now been defeated. They can't block you. They can't stop you. They can't say anything about you that's going to make you look bad, because those people who are supposed to recognize you, they already know who you are. Okay? People already know your true character, regardless of what they might try to say about you behind your back. People are already well aware of who you are. And with the delusion card, they trust me, if whoever these people are that might try to slander your name, most people that they try to talk about you to are going to realize this person or these people are delusional. They're going to realize that this is all something that they made up in their head in order to absolve themselves, to feel better about what they was doing against you behind your back. So it's going to fall on deaf ears. Let's just put it that way. If they try to come forward and that's their next tactic of action against you because they're bitter, that they're having to deal with their karma and you don't want to carry their burdens anymore, then their karma is whatever they try to say about you will fall on deaf ears. No one will hear it because they've already established a pattern for themselves that really truly shows the world who they are. Like their blueprint is etched in stone. And so because they've already created that type of blueprint for themselves, there's nothing that they can say that will make people look at you any differently. Not in a negative way anyway. Okay? I have main female. And then I have judication. So it could be a female also who's going to be judged for speaking ill against you. But just know that a lot of people are taking losses because they jump too fast. You still get to move towards your happiness, your wish fulfillment. And you are still the privileged man, privileged woman. You are still the mature man or mature woman. Things are still working out in your favor. You are divinely protected. You win. Okay, so I'm just going to take a couple of cards. Let me see. I think I'm going to read from my book here just to get a quick message. Let's see. So I'm opening up at message, random message 13. If you want to order my book, Guided Light, you could always feel free to shoot me an email to place your order. So this says, it's wise to seek help from others rather than trying to handle everything by yourself. You've already invested a lot of your, You've already invested a lot in your situation, and it's time to let others contribute in return. Let go of the burden of overextending yourself to those who might not appreciate it, as this can lead to feelings of bitterness and self-loathing. You might have been holding on to certain circumstances due to emotional codependency. Now you remove the rose-colored glasses that created illusions, allowing you to see the true nature of these relationships. At the same time, you embrace the opportunity to prioritize yourself for a change. So you're putting yourself first. That's really what it's saying. You're no longer going to keep on giving and giving and giving, and other people, all they're doing is just taking and taking and taking and not giving anything in return. It's like, now it's your turn to kick your feet up and relax. Let people do something for you for a change, because you've earned it. It's a lot of people out here who have been freeloaders all of their life. And even if it hasn't been all of their life, they've spent enough time freeloading off of others. So it's time that those same people who have been receiving, they now need, it's the scales have balanced out. Okay. It's time to give. And if they choose not to, you're still going to take that same energy that you was pouring into them, and now you're getting ready to pour it into yourself. Whether it's emotionally focusing in on yourself and giving yourself all of that energy, whether it's your time, whether it's focusing in on your creative ideas, you are not going to let these people come in and monopolize your time and just take up all of your energy and drain you and leave you depleted, and you have nothing left to give to your creative projects, your business, loving on yourself. You deserve to have these things. You've earned them. You worked hard for them, and you're not going to let anybody come in and deter you from continuing down that path. So this is pretty much saying, take your power back. It's time for you to receive something for a change, because you deserve it. You deserve it. You've been giving of yourself all of your life. And so if people can't see the value in your giving nature and see the value in returning the favor, you know, not just one time, not just two times, not just giving the bare minimum or crumb feeding, but I'm talking about making outright sacrifices to show that they are worthy of your energy, they're worthy of your time, they're worthy of being, you know, around you. If they're not willing to make the sacrifices where, you know, they're putting in that effort, then kick them to the curb and pour that energy into yourself because you deserve it. That's my message for you all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all next time.